BD is not the problem. Short-term thinking is. Now, before we go on, I don't want anyone thinking I'm anti-BD. I really am not. BD has built my business from the ground up. And before that, when I was in recruitment, I did BD for a good 8 years. It's one of the things I actually, funnily enough, enjoy doing. But client acquisition has changed. Well, maybe not changed, more like morphed, evolved. And by just focusing on BD alone, you're only doing one part of it when you could be doing a lot more in a short amount of time, way more effectively. Now, I'm not against BD, but what I am against is using BD as your only growth engine, or using BD as your positioning online, or using BD as the only way to get people to know who you are and do client acquisition. It is so sloppy to set your business up that way. To make matters worse, this is what mainly happens to recruitment businesses between the 20K and 100K mark that have one founder at the top, maybe two directors at the top, and then you have all your consultants below. They're doing all the business development, they're bringing in all the new clients, they are actively trying to grow the business, whereas all the other consultants, they're just doing resourcing. Now, that may sound like a good business, but what that really means is if any of the people at the top took any time off or didn't do any BD, the business won't grow. The business stagnates. And that is a problem. What I'm trying to mainly hint at is that just doing outreach alone is not just irresponsible, it's actually a risk to yourself and the business, especially in the long run. Now, before we go on, BD works. Business development works 100%. Cold calling works. Cold email works. Any form of outreach works if you do it correctly. But it shouldn't be the only thing you do in your business. Remember, outreach and business development is the way most recruitment founders build their actual business. So it works 100%. The real problem happens when every single deal depends on you. When every single business knowing who you are depends on you. When it's your audience that you're getting new clients from only. If you're trying to grow, this is only going to slow you down because you need other people in your business to know what they're doing in terms of business development for you to be as effective as possible. It's either that or you never take any holiday, you stay working every single day, and you continually churn out these amazing relationships. Just remember, BD is short-term certainty. Just remember, BD is short-term certainty, but it's also long-term fragility. You can't scale your business if you're only doing BD all the time. Especially if you're looking to expand and grow, you need a way of getting other people in your business to be as effective as you are at acquiring new customers. What I find really interesting is most founders, when I start speaking to them, always seem to go through a few different steps every single time I speak to them. In the beginning, it's a case where they say, I do loads of BD and I get loads of clients. So we're good. Then I ask them, if you took a holiday, would your business still be able to acquire new clients? Then they'll say, probably not. Then I'm like, that's your issue right there. And they say, oh no, we'll sort it out later. It's not that big of a deal for now. But all I'm hearing is, you know there's a glaring problem in your business. You understand there's a problem, but you're choosing to defer it to later just because everything is working now. And I've seen it when a business is eventually in a position where they need more clients. The BD that you were doing before isn't working anymore, and now you're struggling. Whereas if you had set up an ecosystem around yourself beforehand, which allowed you to basically clone yourself, then you wouldn't be in this mess that you're in now. Business development opens doors, and it should open doors continuously, but it shouldn't be what your whole business depends on. Because if it is, when it doesn't work, you're in trouble. Business development should be a spark, but it shouldn't be the whole engine. In 2026, markets are going to get noisier. Your competition is going to be bigger. You're going to have more businesses you're competing with. What I find funny is all these new businesses that are growing are focusing on their positioning in the market because they know that when people see them and see them as a business leader, they're going to be more likely to go with them. Your positioning matters a lot more than how many people you're talking to. And the main thing that it says to me is it exposes all those businesses that are just relying on one person for BD in them. Because if that person takes holiday, or if that person doesn't perform as well as they usually perform with their BD, the business is going to tank. And that is a danger a lot of recruitment businesses are setting themselves up for. If your positioning only lives in your head, then you're not really positioned to last more than the next few years. But I'll end it with this. If you chose to stop doing BD tomorrow, what would actually be keeping the deals coming?